Anthony. Good morning. It is going toward 9 a.m. on the 1st of December 2017. In the lunar cycle, almost at the full moon, getting there. And this lunar cycle, the waters are supposed to completely freeze over. And usually, Spobikami here, the pond, it's already frozen over even in the first lunar cycle. So this is a really warm beginning to our winter. We had a pretty warm summer as well. As you can see, there's lots of open water still on the pond. And even the muskrats are out on the ice. They're like pulling their food up onto the ice and sitting up there. I'm gonna go see if I can get a closer look at that guy and what he's doing. But yeah, it's relatively warm. I mean, it's above zero, barely. But for December 1st, that's not too shabby. Oh, there's another muskrat over here. Oh, he just slipped into the water. See if I can get him in the yeah, nice. They're pretty active. In the Blackfoot tradition, Mitski, the muskrat, he's known for being able to dive deep. There's a flood tradition here too, a flood story like in most cultures. And in the Blackfoot flood story, it's the muskrat that dives down to the bottom. Earth to recreate the land. There's some mallards out here mid-pond as well. Miksikatsi in Nitsipos. The red legs. Open water around the Xiskstuckyoyis, the beaver lodge. No doubt they've been coming out during the nights as well. I've observed several magpies now. Well, not several, 3, I think. Picking through the leaf litter on the coulee slopes. This one just noticed that I was looking at him, I think. They must be finding some insects there. My guess is that it's going to be a species of wolf spider. But I'll probably stop and at some point along the way here and pick through some of the leaf litter myself to kind of gauge what they might be eating. magpies are always a good source of information on, you know, what resources are out here and what's going on. I always try to pay attention to them. It's funny. These people just walked right by me on the path. And I was standing here looking at them. Didn't even notice me. Didn't even see me. I've been digging under the leaf litter here, under these chokecherry trees on the coulee slope, which is really the same environment that I saw the magpies digging in. And I have found some things. Let me show you. Some things that might be of interest to magpies. One of the things, let's see if I can find it again. Here we go. There are, when you turn over these leaves, there are some green shoots. Some nice green shoots coming up for new plants for next year. They're just poking out of the soil, but they're, you know, they're protected by the leaf litter. And I don't know if the magpies would be interested in something like this, but my experience with magpies, which is considerable, they might take a nibble of something like this. You know, just some variety in their diet. They eat a lot of stuff, right? So that's a possibility, but more likely they're looking for something like this. Now check this out. Found over here. Let's see. Try to be gentle. Let's see if I can find it again. There we are. There we are. Now that is a wasp. And quite possibly a hibernating queen. Hibernating queen. So there could be all kinds of hibernating insects under these leaves, under the leaf litter. I gotta do a good job covering her up because she might have had a really nice, you know, warm nook that I disturbed, right? If she is hibernating, I want her to still be protected. So yeah, there's another kind of green little shoot coming up, but yeah, I really suspect they're more after the insects. I've just alarmed this mixed gathering of Canada geese and mallard ducks. Just checking out the river. It's pretty much wide open. Well, it looks like over this way there may be a golden eye. I'll see if I can get him in the there we go. All the usual suspects. There's never too many mallards that stick around, but there's thousands of geese. And our winter birds like the golden eyes. I've just dropped into the forest main on my route back toward the north, and here at the edge there's some milkweed patches. This is the remains of milkweed here, last summer's milkweed, and I've picked a stalk. The reason being, I read in a Bernd Heinrich book that the orioles, this is what the orioles use to weave their basket nest up on the high canopy of the forest. But I also noticed that the yellow warbler's nest seems to use a similar fiber. And so I'm gonna break this up, get the fiber off of it, get some of the fiber off of it, like what you see here, shred it a bit, and check it down the trail against the warbler's nest to see if it looks similar. Okay, so here's my milkweed fiber, and here is a warbler nest, and when I compare them, you know, it's possible that some of the smaller fibers are a match, but I doubt it. I think the warbler's nest is just made out of something different entirely. And my next guesses as to what it might be, like look at when I pull this apart, you know. There's definitely plant fiber, but it seems to be a lot more cottony, a lot more delicate than what I'm dealing with the milkweed. So yeah, it's still kind of a mystery to me what this might. It could be from the cottonwood seeds, but I don't think so. Look at the you see a lot of it is actual plant fiber for sure, though there are pieces like this over here that are more for sure cotton from the cottonwood tree, right? But yeah, most of this is plant fiber, I believe, but from what, I really don't know. And no sign of either the white-tailed deer or the porcupine. Though I know both species are here somewhere. I just came out to look out over the wet meadows to see if I could maybe spot the whitetails. I saw an eagle over across the way by the golf course, but I think he saw me as well and took off, and I wasn't able to get him on film. It was a mature bald eagle. I might have caught glimpses of him, but through the viewfinder I couldn't really see it. Yeah, I'm supposed to be choosing 12 species to study closely for the year. The cottonwoods is one of those, and I was thinking that the next one, you know, like last week when I came through, I was thinking the next one would be white-tailed deer. I suppose that the absence of the deer tells me something too, right? That they're perhaps more nocturnal around here, or in general. That you're not going to see them moving around so much during the day. At least not today, they're not. Back again at North Pond, obviously, and I think that's about a wrap for me on this windy December 1st morning. One more thing I want to look at here in terms of that yellow warbler nest. Another idea that I had was maybe that it's the seeds of the clematis here. But looking at them, if you look at them closely, each one kind of looks like a little feather. And the whatever was used in that nest is different, more plant fibery. And of course, doesn't have these seed heads either, but it's very, you know, if the bird had used these, it would have been entirely possible for them to just clip the seed head off. So I don't know. I don't think this is the material that they're using either. Yeah, I don't think so. So that's, I believe I've narrowed down two of the potential constituents that it's not. Doesn't help me know what it is though. I was having some thoughts in the forest. I was contemplating, like, why don't we have any arboreal squirrels here? Lots of areas in the province there are arboreal squirrels. You know, when you're in the foothills, when you get up by Edmonton, tons of squirrels and chipmunks. All we have here is ground squirrels. And I was wondering why, and then, you know, it became very apparent right away as I considered it. Well, the cottonwood forest probably just can't provide for them. They love those seeds, you know, the seeds of the conifers. So the cottonwoods just don't have enough to support them, and that must be why we don't have them. So that's a little bit of something learned about the cottonwoods, I think, from an absence. It's nice to see you know, all the usual suspects around here, although there's a few who didn't turn up. Never saw any chickadees, never saw any flickers. I'm sure they're around. It's cool to find the wasp queen. Not the first time I've encountered that same scenario under leaves. I found them under logs and under leaves. All good places to hibernate. I hope I covered her back up enough that she'll be secure and won't have a problem for the winter. But yeah, that's a wrap for me. Headed out and come back out in another few days and